let's get back to the class. So please remember at the beginning I mentioned about the roster, right? So you are allowed to have a few absent. After that, you have to have some to make doctor visits and so on. If you have some family problems, you let me know. Right? But otherwise, you make up it on sooner or later.
We have to
can you pick up the number later? Yeah. Okay. You're supposed to pick up the number so that you can do for next time, okay? What's number?
7.
Okay, remember that, okay? Number 7. Okay. So guys like to take a Buddhist class. Anyway, so you guys still want to go down, or we can alternate, right? One day we here, one day we go out, or it's up to you guys. Is that better?
I brought a blanket today.
Oh really? Probably take once per day. We alternate, right? Because some people like to stay in class, some people want to go down.
Whenever it's cool, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it tastes like
lady, you have to pick up your number.
oh.
Go.
Say it separately.
So,
Okay. Over there. You say that.
And the other one is
Okay.
Don't say cool. What's your number?
I swear.
Oh, for this one.
Can you say cool?
Wait, say that?
Can you say cool? Not this one. Okay. Thank you. Alright, so probably you may alternate is better, right? So to sanitize one, otherwise you want to do when we go middle way. You know what's the middle way? Right?
Where what?
Middle way. That's mean some of you guys like to stay in class, some of you guys like to go down, so we go middle way. So one day we stay back, one day we go down. It's okay?
Yes.
So they we stay back. It's okay. Sorry for your blanket.
I'll wear it.
Bring it to the football game.
Call out. Alright, so you have your number, right? So you know I want to be fair, so that's why I put this lovely number for you. And because last time, remember, for the best book of that, I don't know, you love that book. Okay, so you have your number for today, right? So we have, please go with your number, please.
4.
Alright. Okay, we have a lot to talk today. Okay, since he requests to do first because we need to go early. Okay, we have this.
Okay. So I'm just going to talk about our little kid's Bada, and like that name basically means the Lord who looks down on the world, and he's first mentioned in the Buddhist Tantra, and he's basically described as someone who rescues anyone from danger after they recite his mantra. And he's a very compassionate being, and that's basically why he'll like go and help anyone who recites his mantra, and he'll rescue them if they're in any kind of danger. And there's some different countries they portray him differently. So India basically sees him as a young prince, and on his crown there's Buddha. And in Tibet, he's portrayed as a creature with 1,000 arms, and each arm has an eye on it, basically reaching out and helping people. And it just shows that like he sees everything anytime someone's in distress. And then in China, they actually see him as a woman in a white robe known as Kuan Yin. That's it.
That's all?
That's all.
So, anyone of you recognize this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yes. That's what we call in Vietnamese. What we call Quang Âm. Quang Âm. Okay. This is the compassionate Bodhisattva. You can say that most of all the Buddhist temple have this statue. This one here. This is the one. And you recognize 1,000 hands, 1,000 eyes. You know why? Why is
to help with as many and
this is the symbolic way, expression. We have 2 eyes, have 2 hands. That Bodhisattva has 1,000 hands, 1,000 eyes. So in India, they worship this Bodhisattva as a male. But when you go to China and so forth in the Far East, they worship this Bodhisattva as a female. And that's why.
Why does it change? Yeah.
It's not important. In Buddhism, yeah, it's not important because whoever achieve to Buddhahood, become Buddha or great Bodhisattva, they go beyond the gender. So they can manifest themselves as male or female whenever. And this Bodhisattva could manifest into 32 bodies, 32 transformations. Like if this Bodhisattva want to manifest as Buddha, he can. Or Bodhisattva, or whoever, even the little boy, little girl, to have sentient beings. This is a famous. Let's see here. This famous Buddhist picture image with the dragons. You know, in the I told you in the 80s, after Vietnam War, the many Vietnamese people they escaped from Vietnam, and they call us as boat people, and many of them saw her image on the sky with the dragons. And when they was in refugee camp.
What's the symbolism of the dragon?
Dragon is represent the power in Eastern traditions.
Also wisdom and ancient.
Yes, that's different idea from the West, right?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. And you say that even Buddhist people, any Buddhists, especially Vietnamese or Chinese, even they don't understand anything about Buddhism, but they worship her, right? At home, right? We have that one number, right?
Is there a different name for Chinese?
One yin. One yin is similar. Okay. All right. Good. Let's move on. Let's number 1. Buddhist number 1. Yes, go ahead. So, who are the past Buddhas?
Well, there are, according to the Buddha Vamsa, which is part of the Pali Canon, there are 29 named Buddhas, and there's a cycle of, it's called a kalpa, I think, where there are 1,000 Buddhas per kalpa. And so we're currently in the Bhadra kalpa, which is also known as the auspicious eon, and the previous one was the Vayuva kalpa, which is known as the glorious eon. And so there are 7 Buddhas in antiquity that have been identified as, like, they span, I guess, the gap between the 2 eons. And so Siddhartha is the 28th Buddha, and then the 29th is, I think number 2 addresses it, but his name is Maitreya.
Yeah.
I think, and 24, so there are 27 Buddhas before Siddhartha, and 24 of them prophesized of his enlightenment, I guess, or his Buddhahood. I think one of the most well-known is Sumedha, who was the 14th Buddha, so halfway through the list of the 28. And there's a story of like his, I guess it's, he's known as kind of a previous, well, I guess Siddhartha was Sumedha in a past life, right? Is that? Okay, so yeah, so when during Shumenda's lifetime, it was prophesied that he would attain enlightenment, and I guess at hearing that, he jumped in the air to a height, or no, he grew to a height of 7 tall trees, and a lot of the, I guess these older Buddhas have, like the number 7 comes up a lot. Like one of them, the Pasi, was like 121 feet tall, and his body radiated light for, like 7 Yohanas, I think was the unit that they had. But, and a lot of them lived to be, like they lived such a long time ago, the lifespan of Buddhas during their time was like 84,000 years, and so many of them lived to be 900,000 years old. Whereas I thought that was interesting because Siddhartha lived to be 90.
So what do you think about their lifespan? Is it possible? Yeah. So with their power, they can extend their lifespan any way that they want to. So, you know, when you really concentrate on your mind, time is not important, is that right? You can, but when you wait for someone else, right? Their girlfriend, boyfriend is too long, right? But if you really focus your mind, whether it's a couple hours, so especially you see the children when they play games, they can play days, hours and days, right? So that's why when Buddha and Buddhist Tantras want to have transcendence, they can explain or assume the terms. All right. So number 2, what is number 2? Yes. Yes.
Is the next Buddha supposed to be female?
And the female Buddha? Huh?
Is that what I heard? Like the next one is the 29th.
And 29? No, that's material Buddhist. No, this is the future Buddha. The next Buddha.
Yeah, it's not female.
No.
It's not going to be female.
No, remember I told you, when someone reaches that state of mind, there's no more gender at all. Let's go beyond gender. So that's why.
So all of those could be either boy or girl?
If they want to. If they want to manifest themselves as male, female, they can do.
Okay.
So that's like that.
So all of those are boys. They're not all men.
You can either way. You can. It's not important. You know why? Because here we live in the duality, right? Right? Male, female, black, white, good and bad. When they set their mind up to that state of mind, yeah, they go out that circle. There's no, so that's why, like you just mentioned about one arm, right? We can call he or she. Somebody.
Yeah, but like if when they're born.
Most of the time they're born as male.
Okay.
Yeah. And in Tibetan traditions, there's some female Buddhist Tantras, and they have a female. Where do you see that?
I'm gonna look it up, but I thought it was prophesied that this one was gonna be female.
No, this is male.
No.
I think that's holding on the nose.
Okay, so number 2, yes, please. Number 2, yes.
Okay, so we have Maitreya,
Yes.
who is the future Buddha, and in my reading I read that he was one of the 5 earthly Buddhas, and he's supposed to be the last one. And in early Buddhism, he dwells in Tushita heaven.
Yeah.
And when you picture him, he's usually sitting there with like his hand on his chin, and just he looks like he's in deep thought. And that's because he's pondering on how to end suffering in people, and his people and humans. And yeah, he's the bringer of the future. So with that, his responsibilities are caring and nurturing of the future generations. His name means loving or caring one. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's how he's described in nature, just loving, caring Buddha. He was the disciple of Shakyamuni. And yeah, I think he's in a stage of not being Yeah, like similar to humans, he's awaiting his future, which adds an emphasis on his present inadequacies. When he took his Buddhist vows, he became responsible for training in the areas of discipline, concentration, and wisdom. And these principles being taught so that a person can find their enlightenment. That's what I got.
Yes. One of the question I have for you next Tuesday is for the peace manifestation. Who know Happy Buddha? All right, you have that, right? Okay, and who knows what I forgot the wisdom. Who does number 2, 3? Who does number 3? Number 3. Next Tuesday. No one? Number 3, next Tuesday. No one?
Yes, you got number 3 next Tuesday.
You got number 3?
Next Tuesday?
Yeah, next Tuesday. You do? Okay, you search out for him. Okay. He is one of the manifestation of that Bodhisattva of future Buddha. Maitreya Bodhisattva. Okay, so actually he is the actual person, actual monks during the Buddha times. But the Buddha gave him a position that he would be Buddha in future. Yes?
Really dumb question.
Yes?
Is the Dalai Lama Buddha?
No. That's why many people have that time misconception about Dalai Lama. He's not a pope either. Right? Remember what I told you, right? He's not a pope. Why?
Because he's like politic aspect of because he is the one that focuses on politics. Like he just represents Buddhism in the politic aspect.
No, actually, like we talk about Shankara. Who knows what's number here?
So is it like a principle?
I think you're right.
Okay, who does number 7? Who does number 7? Alright, when we talk about number 7, then we can go back to Dalai Lama, okay? And alright, we will talk about that. Alright, so again, Maitreya Bodhisattva, remember? Right, next week we study again the differences between Mahayana and Theravada traditions, and both traditions believe in this Bodhisattva. In Theravada tradition, they don't believe in Guangam or whoever or whichever Buddhas. That's why we have different system of belief. We will talk about next week too. Right, but both traditions recognize the future Buddha, Maitreya Bodhisattva of future Buddhas, and Buddha gave that prediction that he will become a Buddha in the future when he come down here when there's no more Buddhism at all, and when people lifespan about 84,000 years old. So, yeah, he come down here with people, and remember I told you about the monk Mahakashipa, the one who still in the samadhi. He will raise up from his samadhi to give the rubber ball, to pass the rubber ball of Shakti Buddha to Maitreya Bodhisattva. Yeah, so he said before, in some of the sutra, Shakti Buddha said that whoever become Buddhist during this time would follow him, would follow the next Buddha. And like in absent today, some Shakti teacher or some net teacher will come, the next person will come and teach you. So in Buddhism, this is the lineage of the continuous lineage of Buddhas. So that's why whoever practice Buddhism. Okay, let's number 4. Who does number 4? Number 3, sorry. Yeah, number 3. What is number 3? Celestial Buddha, Bodhisattva. You know, in Mahayana traditions, there's many all kind of Bodhisattva. You know why? Now, even, you know, according to Mahayana traditions, even if you want, you can practice what we call Bodhisattva path. That means you help yourself and help others. That is called Bodhisattva. And there's 53 levels of Bodhisattva. And that's why we have celestial Bodhisattva, whichever. On earth, in human realm, in animal realm, in celestial realm, and so forth. In every realms that we have Bodhisattva, right? The one who rescue people, the one who rescue others, that's considered as a Bodhisattva. We study that later on too. Okay, that's number 5, Bodhidharma. You guys don't know this Bodhidharma? This is famous. When we study about Zen tradition, you would not miss them. He's the he's the 28th Zen master in India, and he's the first Zen master in China. He established the Zen tradition in the 6th century.
Established what?
Zen tradition in China. So when he went from South India to China, he met the king, the Chinese king. Remember Ashoka, right? How Ashoka spread Buddhism around India and other places. And so this king want to imitate Ashoka and help bless. He had built so many temples, so many monasteries, and he had many Buddhist monks, and he had to print Buddhist texts and so forth. And then asked this Bodhidharma, do I any merit? And did monk say no? You know why?
You're not supposed to do
Why?
You're not supposed to do good deeds expecting it.
Huh?
You're not supposed to do good deeds expecting it.
Yeah, that's one. Another one. That's one response. How about the other one? Why? Why he had to build Buddhist temple, to print Buddhist book, to have Buddhist monks and nuns to practice the way. Let's say if you support someone else, right? If you support the school, right? You get married too, right? Right? If you support to build the hospital, right? And so forth, you have married, right? So no problem. But this kid, that kid, he say, I build all these things. I did all these things. Do I have any merit? Do I get any merit? So this one say no. There's one aspect. Yeah, of course. If you do things, you have expectation. You may not have that you want. But another thing is that, you know, in Buddhism, merit or place a merit is different from what? Worldly merit. Worldly merit is different from what, you know, the wisdom. According to the Zen tradition or even Buddhist view, even you are not blessing a merit, you still revolve in the cycle of the birth. Remember, like you can be reborn in the celestial realms and live for trillion years, but one day you may be back. Make sense? So that's why in Buddhism is value the wisdom. That only with the wisdom it could help you to get out the birth cycle. Make sense? That's why he replied, "There's no much blessing, no much merit." I mean that you can say that the spiritual merit, not the worldly merit. Make sense? Okay. All right. And we learn more about him later on. Okay. The next one, who does number 5? Okay, Ashita? No one? Okay. Ashita is the Indian monks. He went from India to Tibet to spread the Dharma. Actually, at first he went down to even Indonesia to study. You know, in the past, in the 11th and 12th century, Buddhism still survived in India and in Indonesia. So he went out there to study. After that, he went back to India and actually Bangladesh. You know Bangladesh? Okay. And one of the Tibetan kings invited him to Tibet to spread the Dharma, and that's why when he went there, he created what we call Kadampa tradition in Tibet. This is belong to the oldest tradition in Tibet. Yeah, that's one. Okay, the 7. No one does number 7. Okay, Tsongkhapa is around 13th to 14th century. He Tibetan monks, and he created the tradition of Dalai Lama. Lama and Panchen Lama. Okay, here. If someone asked me about, okay, now we may go down to Dalai Lama soon. Okay, Dalai Lama, son from Tsongkhapa, he trained. Actually, he later on, you know, the Mongolian emperor, the one who occupied the last lands in China, Tibet, and so forth, right? So he appointed Dalai Lama 2 roles. One is political, another one is religious leaders of the country. And Panchen Lama just has only 1 role, a religious leader. But both of them interchange each other. You know, now they the Chinese communists, they capture, they set up a Panchen Lama, right? They capture the real one, and they keep they put in prison the real one, even when he was only 6 years old, and they set up the fake one, the Panchen Lama. You know why? Why? So that after Dalai Lama passed away, Panchen Lama could appoint the new Dalai Lama so that they could control Tibet. That is the political situation in Tibet nowadays. Yes?
I heard that the Dalai Lama announced that he might not reincarnate again because of the political situation.
Yeah, he said he might. At first he said, I will be reborn outside China. And later on he said many things. I may be born as a woman. Yeah. I may be born as a Western and so forth, or he may not, and so forth. So depend upon he emphasized depend upon the wish of the Tibetan people, whether that Dalai Lama lineage could be continued or not. That depends on his people. Well, of course, they like to make one. Yes.
There's a king of Tibet, right?
He?
No. But a separate sovereignty. How does that relate to the Dalai Lama? Because the Dalai Lama, doesn't he train the Prince of Tibet?
Actually, starting from the 14th century, because of the Mongolian emperor, so they set up him as 2 roles, remember, political leaders and religious leader. But Panchen Lama, he just has only 1 role, religious leader too, only 1 role. But that's why Dalai Lama is so important. So they consider him as a king in Tibet too, politically, in secular life. But in religious life, yes, he's considered as the Pope for Tibetan people, not for the whole Buddhists. Make sense? So don't misunderstand about that. Okay. Okay, so so let's go down. Whoever does Dalai Lama history. Okay, the next one, who does number 8? That's why That's why you got to pick up the number so that it can be even now, right? Okay, you can pick up the number for next Tuesday. Alright, so it can be even now. Okay. So remember your number. You can pick up that number for the next Tuesday. Otherwise, maybe if you focus on one and leave me to talk more. Voice, you pick up this one. Voice, remember? No. Number 9. Okay, put that. Very good. Thank you. Alright. So now, Huineng is the sixth patriarch, Zen master in China, and he's very famous. Let me show you this verse, and I don't know whether you understand what he tried to say. Okay, here. And his body is still survive in China. I will show you after this. Okay, let's see here. Here, his real body still survive in China. He lived in 7th century, and his body right there still survive in China, in southern China. Okay, now. Okay, let me tell you the historical background. So he was a poor man, and you know, in the past, poor people, they went to the forest, pick up the wood to sell for the common people. So he did that. So he picked up the wood and sell to the people. That's a sort of income. So one day he stopped by at one of the Buddhist people, and he heard that guy reciting the Dharma Sutra. Remember we talked about Dharma Sutra, and somehow at that time he awakened on the spot. And that man, after that, he told that man, and that man helped him to have some type of lump sum money to help his mother before he left. So that guy encouraged him to see this fifth patriarch of the Zen traditions. And at the temple, there was one great disciple of the fifth patriarch, but somehow he could not understand the fifth patriarch's mind. So one day the fifth patriarch told everyone, okay, you guys write a verse. I recognize that you have that state of mind, awakening state of mind. I will pass road and bowl. This is the symbolic way of lineage, so that you can become a sixth patriarch. So everyone in the temple didn't dare to write except that great disciple, and he wrote this verse. The body is the Bodhi tree. The mind is standing mirror, bright. As all time polish it decently, and let no dust arise. You understand that? You understand that? So the body, he said, the body is the Bodhi tree. The mind is a mirror. You have to clean. You have to clean your mind. My sense understandable, right? What happened if you have murky mind? If you have, you know, the mirror, right? If you have so much dust, you could not see your face through. So according to him, the disciple of the fifth patriarch, he said that the mind is like the mirror. You need to clean up your mind. But for Huineng, he said different way. Body is original without any tree. The prime mirror is also not a stand. Originally, there is not a single thing. Where could any dust be attracted? You understand that?
Oh, super empty.
That in line with, remember we talked about perfection of wisdom sutra, right? That is considered our innate nature, Buddha nature that we talked last time. Okay, so that's why he was passed go and bowl to become a psychiatrist. And but somehow because of politics, so he went to live in the forest with the hunters for 16 years before he went out to teach. And they made a story that even he lived among even he lived together with the hunter, but he never admits. He just said that out the vegetables live, that's all. And this many story. And after he went out, he gave the teaching to the people. All right. So the next one. Okay. Number 9. I see some of you. Number 9. Buddhism and I. Yes, please go ahead. What's about Dogen?
Okay, well, he was born in Japan to like aristocratic family, but he lost both his parents early in life, which caused him to be like this impermanent. And then he moved to his uncle, who forced him to who took care of his schooling. So he went to like school, and he also learned about Buddhism. And by the time he was 4, he was able to read Chinese and Japanese. And when he was 14, and then later he moved to his other uncle's place where he was like a priest. And then he started studying to become a monk. He became one when he was 14. And then what? Oh yeah.
Also, he really believed in the practice of Zazen and then the practice itself. Sort of. Well, first of all, when he was young, the thing he contemplated the most, the question he asked himself the most, that kind of led him to studying under monks, was the contradiction about everyone being born with the Dharma body. And why, if that's true, why do Buddhas have to seek to attain enlightenment if they sort of already have it? I wasn't clear on that. And so he decided how he resolved the contradiction is by the practice of Zazen, which is strict meditation. And he came to believe that the practice itself was one and the same as one.
Yeah, only two of you? Okay. Do you have anything to add? Okay, so later I'm going to study the Zen tradition. You understand why. So sometimes the Zen master kept, they say, well, we have Buddha nature already, you don't need to do anything. But the other monks, no, you have to sit down to do meditation to recognize us. So actually, this Dogen advocates that you need to sit down to do, like they call Zazen, that means sit down and do meditation. Yeah. So he created solo traditions in Japan. So we later on we studied briefly about the Zen traditions, and from that time on up to now, that solo tradition is still popular in Japan. Okay, so that's us with number 9. Who does number 10? Yes, please. What's number 10?
Number 10 is about the Thai monk.
Okay. Okay, that's the Thai monks. Yes.
He entered the monastery when he was 3.
Yes.
And he left a few years later to go back to his family and to help his family on his farm. And then a few years later, he returned to the monastery where he spent a couple more years learning. And then he left. Because his father died, and so when his father died, he wanted to explore more of the Buddhism, and so he wandered all around the country. He entered the forest tradition monastery,
Yeah.
and he lived with the monastery, and he learned a lot about the Buddha.
Yeah.
And in the forest tradition monastery, he lived in the extremes, like he lived with the jungles of tigers and cobras. And then he would sit there and just meditate there and just to try to find a true meaning of life. And then afterwards, he felt he was ready to move on. And so he went back to his birthplace where he was born and built his own forest tradition monastery. And it became 2 of the largest in China.
Who been in the forest before by yourself? By yourself. It's scary.
Yeah,
You love that, but it's scary.
it's kind of scary.
Okay, you live there by yourself, or you just do live camping over there? How long did you stay there?
I've done it a couple of times.
How long? How long did you stay there?
I didn't like camp or anything. Where I grew up, it lived next to like some woods.
Oh,
So
really?
like
National Park?
Yeah, I'd like walk it. Well, no, it was more like just in that town. Like I'm from College Station, so
Where?
College Station.
Oh, okay.
So like they don't really have a national park. It's just the university there. But yeah, I used to go out and take walks there every day, and like I was there almost more often than like I was actually inside. So that was somewhere where like I felt really at peace. So.
You're afraid of any type of snake, wild animals, a bear, and so forth? Huh?
I got so excited when I like could see snakes. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, I was tempted to like, you know.
How look like?
Yeah.
How look like?
It was like black.
Big one?
Yeah, I mean, I think that my mom said that like we used to have to look out for water moccasins that would like come and sit on our porch, and so like I think it was like snakes like that, or like rat snakes, things like that. It didn't get like an anaconda kind of huge, but.
So you stayed in the forest before, so? You did?
I mean, I didn't live there.
You camped there? You stayed
Yes.
for a couple of days?
Oh, just like one night.
One night, scary?
A little.
By yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, actually, I wasn't completely alone.
I lived by myself for a whole year. Not in forest, but half of forest, half of the range. And in Northern California, especially summertime, whenever I step out my cabin, all cabra with snakes running around. And we caught some of them so that I could bring them back to release back in the mountain. They're big.
You're not scared?
Use some sticks to put them in the trash can and cover.
Yeah, they strike.
Okay, well, sometimes they like get in ventilation areas. Like I had someone have to like get a pest remover because they had like a cotton mouth living in their air ducts.
Anyway, so let me go back here. So this monk, Ajahn, he created this forest tradition in Thailand, and now it's still famous. You know why? Especially in the Theravada tradition up to now, there's two type of monks. One is forest tradition, another one is city monk. And most of the time, people may not like much the city monk.
City monk.
Yeah, because
Where?
the city monk doesn't mean the one who stays in the city.
No. Where do they have both of these?
In Thailand.
Thailand?
So, but they have more respect for the monks who live in the forest and mountains to do the spiritual practice. So he stayed in the mountain, he stayed in the forest for many years. Remember, when you stay one night, right? So when you stay one night at the forest, it's scary. Can you handle 2 weeks?
Oh, no.
Why?
Oh, it's
So scared. No Wi-Fi?
I like to shower.
I did shower, yeah, we did shower. It was kind of gross.
I like to stay clean.
I mean,
Stay clean?
Yeah, I want to be able to. I mean, if I tried really hard, I probably
So
would.
what happened if you get lost somewhere? What happened if we have no electricity?
I'll set the phone.
Anyway, so that's why he's so famous, and he has many Western followers, and this is his one of his early student. And he follow a strict tradition. This is he's American. He's American monks.
Robert Carr.
Yeah, he after graduate from college, he went to work for Peace Corps. You know Peace Corps, right? In Thailand. And when he met Ajahn Chah, became a monk from several years and up to several decades. And he spread Theravada, especially the Vipassana traditions. In Europe and even here in California, they have 1 or 2 centers out there. Really famous one. and they draw a lot of Westerners or European people, especially among them. Okay, number 11. Where's number 11?
11 is.
Yes, you are. Okay, go ahead.
So, did a little bit of research, and you said yourself that he was your teacher, right?
No, Grandmaster.
A grandmaster.
Mm-hmm.
But from the biography, it said that initially he wasn't really exposed to Buddhism until after his grandmother's, his grandmother's death, actually, I think. And his father didn't approve of Buddhism and wanted him to do Taoism instead. But also, he was actually married and he had 2 wives, which I think he was forced into just because he wanted, him to carry on the lineage. And that he's really known for how long he lived. I think he lived until 119.
Yeah, 120.
Or 120?
Yeah.
And so he played a role in modern Chinese Buddhism because he was, I think, around the time where he lived was the 20th century, and I guess he was kind of a person that kind of bridged all the monastics of Buddhism. Like there's different little interpretations, I guess, of Buddhism, and he was one that kind of took all of it in together. And then I think he was one of the elected chairmen, along with Dalai Lama, and then 3 other people that created the Chinese Buddhist Association.
Yeah. Okay, he's really famous, You know China, right? You don't know China?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the map. Okay, China here, right? Let me see here. Okay, here. Okay, here. This monk, he did 3 steps, 1 bow from near Shanghai to the 5 Peak Mountain. 3 steps, 1 bow. He did 3 steps, 1 step, 1 bow, 3 steps, 1 bow. From here to here.
Oh my God.
Yes. For around 3 years, regardless of weather. Yeah. And later on, actually he's my grandmaster. And actually later on, some of my Dharma brothers, they let me see, I will show you. They did 3 steps, 1 bow from Los Angeles up to north of San Francisco. Right here. That's 3 steps, 1 bow from LA, Los Angeles to north of San Francisco, and that's what he will follow that tradition. And this is beyond your imagination, right?
Oh no, well yeah, that too. But it sounded really fun. Wait, from where to where?
This is from LA, Los Angeles to north part of San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
That's why he followed that tradition, and the Xu Yuan, he considered as the Zen master, the modern Zen master for many traditions. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when he was young, his father forced him to get married. That's why his father make him to marry 2 wives in old age. But later on, he ran away from them to become monks. And his mom passed away when he was young. But later on, when his father, who was an officer, so after he became a monk, so his father eventually became sick and passed away too. That's why he did 3 steps, 1 bow to repay his parents' kindness. That's just according to the traditions. And later on, he became one of the famous Zen master in China. Okay. Let's move on to 12. Yes. Number 12 about Dalai Lama, right?
Yes.
Wow, that's you now. Go ahead. What's about him?
The Dalai Lama got his name from a Mongolian king who was actually, but since he was the very first one to get it, there was already 2 incarnations of him. So he was the first with the title of Dalai Lama, but he was technically the 3rd one, if that makes sense. He has multiple movies in America, one being 7 Years in Tibet. In 1949, he was exiled from China.
No, 1959.
There you go. 59.
Yeah.
Due to politics, mostly. And he has a meditation center in, I forgot, I know it's in North America.
Everywhere.
It's like North Dakota, maybe?
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere?
Yeah, his followers everywhere. Yeah, because he ask the king of Tibet, the top Tibet musicians, but not the whole Buddhist communities. And what else? What's mean? You know Dalai Lama? What's the meaning?
Ocean of wisdom.
Ocean of wisdom. Did I watch some of his video clips before? No?
I think I have.
You have this?
Is the movie about him Kundun?
Yes. That's
Oh,
Kundun. Yeah. I met him several times.
You did the Dalai Lama?
I met him several times in India and recently in Louisville, Kentucky in 2013. He went there and we have actually the first day he had public talk. There's more than 40,000 people in the big what we call Kentucky. This is a big hall, and he has the lecture for Vietnamese people. That's why I had them translate Vietnamese for them. Yeah, I met him first in India, and he's quite extraordinary person. So you guys watched some of his video clips before? Okay. So it's quite different from common people or common person. And I wish that one day he may come here. And actually, you know, doing that right.
He is coming here.
He did come.
He did come here.
Yeah,
Come here to talk with
2000.
No, this year.
This year?
Yeah, he was just
When?
here. I don't know. Let's see.
This?
I remember
I'm
he
pretty
just
sure.
went here to talk with and talk.
You mean this university or test?
Oh, no, not this.
No, not this university, but in America.
Yeah, he came here, I think, right after Katrina. When he went to Rice University.
He went to Rice.
Right?
He went to Rice.
I went to Rice, but somehow that time people was busy with the
I went to but yeah.
That's awesome.
now he's 80s.
This was the
I got really good.
Yeah? Okay. So again, I told you, right? So now the Chinese communists, he keep this peg pension so that after Dalai passed away, he would appoint the fake one. So we may see 2 Dalai Lama soon after his passing away. Okay, and that's just play with the politics. Okay, so let's move on to number. Yes.
Just a fun fact, I read that the Dalai Lama was asked who was his favorite world leader that he met, and he said George W. Bush because he met with George W. Bush and he thought that George W. Bush was apparently really kind and stuff. Yeah, I just think it's really interesting, not what you expect. That's what I read.
That has to be a lie. He's just trying to make them feel better. There's no way.
Okay. All right, the last one, number 13. Go ahead, two of you, right? Go ahead. Who are you do?
So, the last last influential spiritual leader, global spiritual leader is Thich Hang Dat.
Sorry. How do you say it?
Okay, if I say it right, Thich Hang
Nhật, no, Nhật.
Thich Hang.
That's one. The last one here.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
go ahead.
I don't have a sign, so I just.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so he is a poet, an artist, and a peace activist. And his main focus is on mindfulness and peace. So he born in 1926 and currently is 88 years old and currently living in Plum Village in France. And he would become a monk when he was 16 at the Hill Temple in Hue City in Vietnam. So later he come to US and study at Princeton, and then later on he teach and research Buddhism at University of Columbia University. And then later on he also travel across like the world to like France and teaching at Sorbonne. Don't know how to say that. At the French University at Paris. And then in 1975 he established like sweet potato community near Paris, and then later on went to the Plum Village, which is now like a bigger place. And with his leadership, the place become one of the largest in the West and most active activist Buddhist monastery over there, for over 200 residents and 8,000 visitors every year come there and study his art of mindfulness. And he is the one who create the 5 mindfulness training that like over the last 20 years and 100,000 people commit to it. He also like developing the Wake Up program for school where teacher teach students how to be mindfulness in action and daily thing. And then when visitors come to the Plum Village, they actually learning how to live daily life, how to be mindfulness living daily life. So he wrote about 40 English books and over 100 other books mainly focused on mindfulness and peace. He have on opera show a lot, one time. Opera. And then also he have, during Vietnam War, he described the Vietnam War as the lotus in the sea of fire. And Martin Luther King was nominating him for in 1967 for Nobel Peace Prize. But sadly, because Mr. King announced the nominee, so he got disqualified. And so you're not supposed to let people know who is the nominee for the Nobel Prize or at this point. So his name was giving out there, so he got disqualified. So the media call him the father of mindfulness, the other Dalai Lama, Zen master who fills stadium, and then some other thing I have is currently, lately, 2013, he come to US to lead the mindfulness program for Google, World Bank, Harvard School University about the cycle of violent war and global warming.
How to spell Auckland? How you spell Auckland? Auckland. So.
O-A-K-E.
Okay, here recently, here you see recently they put Thich Hang Dat statue in Auckland as one of the great humanitarian people in the world. Anyway, so you listen to him. If you go to the library, if you go to the bookstore to look for Buddhist book, you will encounter this book. Yes?
I think I might have actually read one of his books.
You read some of his book, and actually his second one besides Dalai Lama in the West to spread Buddhism, and he focused on the mindfulness like you mentioned recently, and most of the nowadays the modern mindfulness practice follow his approach. That's why he's so famous. And most you don't want to recognize him.
Just
You don't recognize him.
Just me, I don't know.
Only
Because
you recognize him. You read some of his book before.
I read his book.
You read some of his book before.
No, I haven't.
How are you? You recognize him? Judy, you recognize him? Who is this? Thich Hang Dat, you don't recognize him? Really? Oh.
Thich Hang Dat. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have like a couple books in my past life.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so in the Western Buddhism, it's really famous one. Okay, anyway, so that's what we about this famous Buddhist teachers and master. Okay, so like I just mentioned recently, some of you, the one who just came back in a minute, came to the class late, so we alternate, all right? One day we will be in class, another day we'll be out. Is that okay?
Next class
And
next class will be outside.
yeah, make sure to bring your blanket or yoga mat, right? And plus remember your number, please. Okay. Remember your number and plus give me one. Sorry, give me one second. If you have not finished all of your real response, please try to do so. Don't wait until the last minute. Okay. And if you need some classes, I give you some information. Otherwise, I have to sit down. All right, thank you. So see you next Tuesday. You guys watch the games this weekend? Woo! You did? You do? Oh.